everything I do it for me and for the artists I work with. But this one is soundtrack is specifically a project I want to do for me. So that's where the idea started pondering. Okay, should I do just an album? No, I could like include music in there, photos in there, videos, all my 3 things I do. And that idea came because I started seeing QR codes now everywhere too, because of the pandemic.
QR codes had the biggest glow up of the pandemic.
They meant to come back in a year.
Yeah,
that format was gone. Like no one was using
Fuck a
that.
paper menu. Fuck a paper menu.
So the QR code came back. I went to visit a museum, a gallery in Montreal. They had the QR codes next to the paintings, not with music attached, but like explanations. I was like, wow, that could be a nice interactive way to do the soundtrack. So that all these ideas kind of culminated and created this project. Then rewind to January this year. That's when I started actually working on it. And shout out to Kingsley. She got me my first grant for it as well.
Shout out.
Ever.
Shout out.
So getting the grant, having the pandemic before it, getting very, very, very familiar and good with the camera, all this together, I was like, yeah, let's do it. It's time now to do it. And I started recording in January, and now we're September, and the project's done. Yeah,
it's your best project too.
I hope so.
It is. I you know, not even like we're great friends, and like it's beautiful to like work with you in this industry. But like as a fan, as a consumer, this is I've listened to a good chunk of your stuff. Yeah, this is your best work.
Thank you.
Yeah, no, this is.
Thank you.
Your sampling was fucking crazy. Like that, there was so many different. Like I was looking, there's so many different points of just interest that was sparked throughout it. Like no 2 songs sounded the same.
No.
It felt like you were pushing people to come out of their comfort zone, but like still make something that was like you knew everyone had a place on that album. Everything sounded intentional. It was
even your skit.
Yeah, facts.
Even your skit.
Yeah. Oh yeah, we're on there.
Little teaser. There's a skit on a song. Thank you. It means a lot. I grew up listening to body of works.
Yeah.
So albums.
Yeah.
Obviously, this generation now, this era, I mean, is all about singles and like fast music, right? Fast product and releasing new singles every 2 weeks or week now. But I grew up, you would actually listen to body of work album, and you would listen to the album forever.
Well, until like you had something else that came out. Like I'm an album listener too. Like when I listen to music, I download whole albums because that's how I think I get the better understanding of an artist or their ideas. You know what I mean? Like to have one good single off of a shit album is just like such a like you got to care about the full body of work.
Well, I treat every song like a single.
Right.
That could be a good way to see it. And I'm glad that you notice the little intricate details around
like
the project.
The Black, like I was listening to Black Messiah, the Bobby Regal track. Yeah. Sorry, I don't know. Am I allowed to say the names of things?
Yeah,
okay, cool.
Oh, yeah. You guys are my friends.
It's not released yet.
Okay. You guys got to hear it before anyone else, just you guys.
Because we're down the wire, we do cool shit. Yeah. We get unreleased links.
And
so the like I was listening to like Black Messiah starts out with the sample from the movie. I was like, that's genius. Like Asaquomo having like the Goody Mob sample, like oh man, there's so many.
You noticed that?
Yeah, dude. What?
I'm so happy you noticed.
Come on now.
Do you know Goody Mob?
No.
Okay.
Yeah.
I like you, John. I'm gonna turn this way.
Yeah, dude. There was so many just great things that work, like the intros and outros.
He's a rap fan for real. Like, geez, you noticed that sample?
Yeah, dude.
Who's that peeking
through my window?
Right.
Yeah,
okay, perfect.
Yeah.
Well, it's cool that you mentioned that because the whole project is an tribute to the 90s. Really. That's where I grew up. I grew up during that era. I was listening to albums during that era. It's the golden era of hip-hop. Let's not get it twisted. It is. Everyone sounded unique back then. Goody Mob doesn't sound like Wu-Tang Clan, and Snoop Dogg doesn't sound like Nas. So everyone sounded unique. And I wanted to do a little ode or a tribute to that era. Hence why I shot the photos on film. Hence why I wanted to use old school frames and old school footage and TVs and sample and go back to the sampling. And back then, you would sample a lot of from movies.
Yeah, and there's a lot of like the intros and outros. I couldn't really place those as well because I don't think I'm as brushed up on 90s movies as I am 90s music.
Man, I'm so glad you got that Goody Mob reference, though.
Yeah, that was sick. I was like, that is fucking sick.
Wow.
Yeah, After Cuomo came on that track,
yes.
too. Pause. Pause.